Hi, welcome to another video. It's another challenge. It's the kit lens challenge, but you know that because of the thumbnail. I'm not a member of many Facebook groups, but one I am a member of is Photo Creative, and they set a monthly challenge. And normally I generally don't take part, but I thought, you know what, I can get on board with this one. So let me explain. It's quite an interesting remit. You can take a photograph of anything you like. Doesn't matter what the subject is, but you must use the kit lens. Now, I bought this camera off eBay. Gosh, it must have been 5 years ago now. And it came with the kit lens. And yes, I still have the box. I don't know why I still have the box, because I normally throw these things away and they clutter up everything. So the remit is take a photograph of anything, and you just have to use the kit lens. So it could be easy, might be hard. You know, at 18mm I can still do a landscape, but everyone will do a landscape photograph. I'm thinking abstracts again, because or street photography. Street photography, anything from 35 to 50. Just keep it fixed, work on aperture or even shutter priority, click, 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 click. Try and capture something. So I've got 3 places in mind that I'm going to check out. So let's get cracking, shall we? Let's get to location number 1. Okay, the first port of call, Shepherdswell railway station, because I think I might be able to capture some images of engineering or kind of abstracty things, because we've got the real railway station and we've got East Kent Heritage Railway. And you might have seen my video on my stroll around the East Kent railway station. Link up here. If you're interested in old trains, I walked around here. But I'm going to take a walk around with my camera, see if I can pick up anything of interest to look at. If I can find somewhere to park. Let's stop here, shall we? Right, let's get the kit lens and the camera and see what we can find. You know what, it's quite liberating just being kind of free to only use the one lens. I don't have to think about, oh, let me bring all the kit out. But I might find something interesting here. There's old trains, there's certainly old vehicles, buses, military vehicles, but look at this old VW camper. And I'm thinking if I can get some abstracty, look at the lines on this and the door handles, they'll make for a good shot, and maybe even the front lights. So I'm thinking it's going to be a case of walking around. I certainly want to go to the other side of the station because, well, toot toot. they're about to sail off, rail off. The other side of the station. Look, the old shunter's going. I should have been over there. Nice. Maybe I'll see it when I get to the other side of the platform. But they've got the Detroiters, haven't they? They've got all the old trolleys and signage, all that kind of stuff. So I'll go over there in a second. Don't have to waste too much time. I want to try and knock this video out quite quickly. So less rambling and more photo taking. So what I'm interested in is the lines here, just with the handles. And I think if I can get in, it's a strange photo, but it's just really pleasing to see. I don't know if I can go portrait. It's very abstract, isn't it? Can you see what it is yet? Let's take one of the lights as well. But I'm thinking if I can get down here and just get a shot of the headlight. I've seen an old comma round there, a camper van. So let's have a look at the settings. I just need an F4 or something like that. Won't let me get less than F5. Yeah, that's very pleasant. Well, let me just set the ISO, get that on 100, because it's quite bright. and then we'll see what the settings are saying. 80th of a second, ISO 100. I like that, I just like the light. Gotta love a Volkswagen, haven't you? Look at this looks like it's all the collected items off a railway station. We've got all the seats from either outside or inside. There's an old ticket machine, permit to travel. Tony Blackburn. I want to take a picture of it just because. Tony Blackburn.
Radio 1, Tony Blackburn. Hello everyone, welcome to the first of the Tony Blackburn shows. I shall be waking up every morning except Sunday between 7 and 8:30. So let's away!
He's like everybody's old-time favourite, isn't he? Now what can I make out of these seats? Is there anything I can get into the mud here? Get some abstract going. So it wants F5, ISO 100, 100th of a second. Here's the old comma mobile home thing that I was talking about. And I think I could get something really nice with the headlights. I don't think there are many lines or anything. It's just one shot here, and I think it's the headlight. It really is liberating just using the single lens, because I want to get right close to it. And the light's shining. I'm wondering if I even use the flash on this. I want to get closer and eliminate the little car on the right. Okay, let's have a look at the settings then. F6.3, 1/600th, no, what is that speed? 1/600th, I never get this right, 1/25th of a second. It's nearly blooming spring. I love that the remit is take a picture of whatever you like, as long as you use your kit lens. I'm going to have to take a picture of a daffodil, aren't I? Lowest f-stop I can get, f5 on 100th of a second with ISO 100. Now coming down this side of the station, I should see something interesting, shouldn't I? Got the old semaphore signals there, the old signal box, the old ticket office, phone box, so many things to take a photograph of. The old signage, I love the signage. And we've got some trains. Are the trains moving? Are they running today? I don't know if they're all getting ready to do their thing. There's all the volunteers, isn't it? Get some street photography going on. So I was just chatting with this guy, he's a guard, and he's just going to model for me. Would you be able to stand half in as if you're doing guard duties, like looking out? Or you're not allowed to? Oh, okay. Stand by the door then. Because it will make it look like I'm just getting a shot of the guard, right? Thank you. Great stuff. Hope it goes well for you today. Yeah. That wasn't bad. I could probably do that as black and white, the guard. It's people, street photography, right? Although he was posing. I'd rather do it where he's not posing. Anyway, look. Will's Gold Flake cigarettes. Doesn't have a date on it. Imperial Tobacco. But I would imagine that's the 60s, isn't it? Right, let's have a look at this. Get some settings going. F5, 60th of a second. Let's move that exposure compensation down. There we go. Oh, 80th of a second at f6.3. Don't need to worry about depth of field, do we? Wasn't bad. Let's get another couple of things from here. What about this scale? Is that going to make a composition? Maybe that, weight relieved, right up at the front here. Help if I turn the camera right. So I'm thinking the whole dial, it's obviously something for your luggage, isn't it? But this is particularly interesting, the weight relieved. Whatever weight relieved means. But it gives me a nice depth of field. So let's have a look. I'm going to go into shutter priority and make sure that I've got enough to handle it. So it's saying 50th of a second f5.3. Yeah, very nice. So it's an interesting exercise because you can get disheartened entering competitions, you know, photography competitions especially, because photography, like art, is subjective. So what I see as something, you know, interesting or I like to take a picture of, others wouldn't, and certainly maybe not judges wouldn't. But I think it's taking part, you know, because it spurs you on and gets you out with your camera, if nothing else. Right, I think I might have exhausted the East Kent Railway. But I did see, I want to call them a gaggle of mopeds. But what do you call a group of mopeds? Funky mopeds. So I thought I might just get a shot of them. Look at these. Looking nice. There's a Vespa in there. What can I make out of that? Get some low down angles from here maybe, with one in the background blurred. That might work. Okay, my composition then, I'm going to try and get the front of the moped so that it's in focus, but the one behind is blurred. That's what I want to do. So aperture priority, get it down to my lowest f-stop. What have I got? f4.5, 250th of a second. Nice bit of sunlight on it. Okay, nothing award-winning, but that's not what I'm out to do. I'm just using the kit lens to get some pictures. I'm going to location number 2. Let's go there now. Okay, the next location is Dover seafront. Because there might be a few things that are interesting. There might be people, so I might get some street photography element done with my kit lens. And there's some old signage, there's some old structures. So let's just pull in to the Marine Parade. See if I can get somewhere to stop. The old architecture already in that bus shelter. It's not a bus shelter, is it? But you know what I mean. Random pull up to stop. Okay, let's get cracking with this. See if I can get something. I know that there's an underpass, so I might get some nice shadows. So yeah, let's see what we can do. So I've just parked opposite the Premier Inn. I like the shelter. I like the cliffs. Where that old lamppost is there is the Welcome to England sign. I think that might make a good one. But how about this? I could get a landscape shot with my kit lens. I'm thinking beyond this railing so that I have a little bit of the harbour jutting out with the sea and the reflections. That might work. What I might be able to do, I'm going to put it on aperture priority and set it to f11 so that I get, you know, the foreground as well as the background. But I can push it at 55 and do a series of panoramic shots and include the area. I would take that shot, then that shot, then that shot, then that shot. Got quite a nice sky going on, so let's get those 4 shots in the bag. So what I'm going to do is a series of shots, 3, maybe 4, try and capture the pier with the lighthouses on both sides. There's some dramatic sky. Let's see what focal length I can get out of this. Doesn't want to lock in. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll work. That gives me a panorama, and it's kind of landscape, but I'm using the kit lens at 45mm, so not bad. I saw all of these. I've got these padlocks. I'm going to be very close in here. Get a shallow depth of field going on. So push the aperture down. 3.5. That will get everything in the background blurred. So I've got f3.5. It wants 500th of a second. That's not bad. How close am I? I'm really close. I'm getting macro photography going on here. Just a random shot. I like the rusty ones actually. f5.6, 1/25th of a second. I need to increase that depth of field. Let's push it to f16. It's a bizarre one, but I want to get all the padlocks in. Welcome to England. I know, it's rather an odd one, isn't it? We can go to Scotland, and when we get into England from Scotland, welcome to England. We can go to Wales, and we get the sign, welcome to England. I'm not sure if you come in at Holyhead or Fishguard, where you're coming from Ireland, and it'll say welcome to England. And because we've got Calais just down the road, across the sea, 21 miles, and everyone comes in, welcome to England. So I've got to get it, haven't I? I want a shallow depth of field. I want to blur out the background. I'm pushing it as far as I can at 55mm without climbing up on the wall and getting into the plantage. f5.6, 200th of a second, ISO 100. This one I think is interesting because it's a real mix of potentially Victorian architecture with the ironwork. You can see that there, and the posts, but the seats are not Victorian. So I think I'm going to get a shot of this, and it's got to be portrait, I think, so that I can get kind of just an essence of the platform or the shelter. Got a few people in it. There's not a lot I can do about that. That's nice. 1/25th of a second, f5.6. Let's push that f-stop, f11, so we'll get the foreground and the background in focus for the shelter. Interesting. I need to come further back, so I need to pull you further back because you're sitting in the shelter and the tripod legs are in the way. That's better. Don't want to ruin your shot, do you? Kind of captures the essence of Dover, which is not what I'm out to do. I'm just out to take random shots with my kit lens, but I've got to think about the composition as well. There's 2 shots now I'm seeing here, so let's do this one. So f11, 30th of a second, ISO 100. And now I'm seeing all the rust. Can you see that? That's kind of abstracty. So let me see what I can get out of that. Can I get it at a weird angle? Where are we? 13th of a second. That's too slow, so I need to open the aperture. f6.3 at 50th of a second. Yeah, just weird, random. So I thought I would do the underpass. It's finding the right place where there's light and dark, so that we can potentially get people walking in and out and get a silhouette of them, or at least their backs as they're leaving the tunnel. And where do I set myself up? I think I'll set the camera up This really is quite liberating because I don't have to bring my tripod, I don't have to bring lenses, that kind of thing. So really the only thing I'm thinking about is the videography and the photography. Let's look at some settings here. A whole bunch of people walking through. I need more light. I need to bump the ISO up. So I'm going for ISO 400. And I think it's all about angles as well. It's too bright, so I need the people closer to me. There's nobody here around at the moment. So let's move you here. I'm thinking this is an okay location. There's more people coming out. Oh, that's better. That's a good location. Because of the brightness in the foreground, you can see that the foreground is so bright that when I actually take the picture, I can adjust it and give myself a darker background. I was going to do 3 locations today. I wouldn't say that I feel like I've done enough, but I've been quite ill. I had some kind of bug or vomiting going on. I shouldn't be sharing it on YouTube. I feel like I'm on the road to recovery, but all of a sudden I'm like feeling wiped out. I'm chatting to you and I'm missing the shot. Right, I can hear people coming behind me. 3 people coming, so we'll call this the last shot. I'm going to go over to that side. I've got 4 people coming, so I think I can make use of the curve in the tunnel and just take a couple of shots. People in tunnels with silhouettes. So no clear objective in terms of, photography, composition and subject, but definitely just going out with the kit lens and taking part in the challenge. Not to be disheartened if any images that I've chosen, or I submit, don't get selected. That's kind of not the point. The point is just to go out and do it. I've got some good shots. I'll display them on the screen for you now. Because the question is, and we know it's subjective, which one would you submit? If you were doing, I've tried to cover all genres, street photography, abstract, landscape, kind of things that I do normally. What one would be worthy of submission, bearing in mind that we can take a picture of anything we choose. Oh, it was a fun little exercise. Another video for the channel. We like doing that, don't we? Okay, thanks for watching, bearing with, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.